Any message maybe to commissioners of evaluation and the VOPEs?
First level sponsors, let us take control of the evaluation process. It should not be the exclusive prerogative of donors, who do not always integrate our perception of certain realities in relation to our belief and culture. We do not always have the same way of appreciating a reality as donors. At the VOPE level, let us help to build a critical mass of African experts in evaluation based on African values. Let's take charge today of the future of evaluation in Africa, for Africa and by Africans. Obviously, at the VOPE level, there is a need to generate financial resources to implement MIA initiatives. Engaging in advocacy activities with government and donors could be a first approach to a solution. That is according to me. The will of African governments to institutionalize evaluation must be evident before anything else. That is the key of promoting evaluation globally and promoting evaluation made in Africa specifically.
Any messages to governments, development donors, and other funders of building national evaluation capacity development in Africa?
The development of national evaluation capacities will be based on a systemic and co-construction approach involving other partners in the national evaluation ecosystem. All stakeholders should work to ensure that African evaluation incorporates African values and thus promote evaluation made in Africa.
Is there something you may have wanted to talk about, but I didn't cover in my questions?
I think we have to develop networks of practitioners of the evaluation in Africa. I think we don't do enough to develop network to share our experience as evaluator. I wrote an article in the Journal of Evaluation Africa. That was in 2017, I think, or an editor saw the article in the net. He asked me to provide him with a book. The title was The Chain of Result Change and Theory of Change to improve the framework, the conception of impact evaluation. I began to write this book since 2020, but I don't yet now. I didn't finalize it. Why? Just because there is more, I think, 2 chapters. Because I want to finalize it, sharing experience with other evaluators. I can see evaluators to share the experience with me to complete the 2 chapters of this book.
Okay. So we are not helping each other.
Send me the document of evaluation in Zambia.
Okay. Yeah. When we ask for information from each other, we don't respond.
Yes, that is true. That is fun. That is, you see, I don't know. Even when I work more in Cameroon, in Central Africa, or in Central Africa zone, the individual who occupied the post of monitor and evaluation, mostly they are not professional.
Okay.
That is mostly they are not professional. When you discuss about evaluation, monitoring and him, you see that they have lack of competencies. Okay. How can I share experience with them? That is a pro of professionalization. That's very even the market of evaluation.
The demand
in our countries. The demand of evaluation. The consultant they recruit, mostly they are not professional evaluators. That is a problem of familiarity. I know John, come and do the evaluation. I don't need to check whether he is an evaluator professional or not. Okay. The criteria of selecting an evaluator are not objective. That is that we have a lot to do in evaluation in Africa. That is true. You see, the point of EvalIndigenous, according to me, is that promoting EvalIndigenous in Africa is difficult because we have the first step is to promote evaluation globally. And the second step is we include African values in evaluation. When in a country as Cameroon, the evaluation is not institutionalized.
Okay.
Is it possible to come to say, okay, let's introduce African values in evaluation? That's difficult. The first step is to promote institutionalization of evaluation in Africa. Without this, EvalIndigenous will be a bit difficult to promote it in Africa. But that is not a reason to give up.
On the resources, funding, how do VOPEs resolve that challenge?
Apart donors, I don't know why we will fund evaluation resources. Because when our government are not interested in the evaluation, do you think there will be interest in EvalIndigenous? That is a problem. You see, in Cameroon, I've been involved in 2 or 3 major documents. I wrote to the UNDP in support of the government of Cameroon a project plan of institutionalizing evaluation in Cameroon. That was the first document. The second document was I don't have the correct note in English. But what I want to say is that since 2002, these documents are still in project. I've been involved 2 weeks, 3 weeks. The UNDP contacted me in order to validate the 2 documents, but the government is still I don't know, not engaged in it. But the project documents are there because I told them that is the first step. We should do all things to promote institutionalization of evaluation and organize the function of evaluation in Cameroon. The project is there. I wrote it with some member of government and ministry. But without validation, we cannot move forward. We are still there. That is a problem.
So there's no political will by our government to assist in having a culture of evaluation in our countries. By the people in charge of government to maybe bring in policies of evaluation or get evaluation placed as a priority in the national development plans.
Yeah.
That is also a challenge.
That is a challenge. One of the problems is that they don't know the importance of evaluation in development. They confuse evaluation with control, audit, and so on. Our mission is to convince them that the evaluation is a tool to help them, not a tool to kill them. That is a performance tool for them. There is also a need to evaluator to have it in mind that you are not a policy. When you go to evaluate a project, that is not a policy matter as in inquisition or so on and so on. You are here to help the project manager to understand where he fails and what he can do to improve on the future steps.
Like you said, they look at us as police people, investigators. So they are afraid.
They are afraid. That is also because they are bad managers. They are not clear of what they are doing. How evaluation is in Zambia.
It has been taken up. We have a national evaluation policy.
Oh, we have a national evaluation policy.
Yes. And we have evaluation placed in the national development plans. Is it? I think for the past 15 years or so, it's been a focus, but it's just developing the capacity of everybody because it's remaining at academic and the civil service. But involving
academic, they don't know to evaluate. That is in Cameroon. When I discuss with the academic, they don't know what about evaluation. When you are not involved of evaluation in the field, no evaluation as somebody who is dealing with evaluation every day. You don't teach evaluation is that is difference between monitoring and evaluation. No, that is good, but going on the field is better.
Thank you for having spared time to take part in this interview.
Thank you too. I expect my contribution will be benefit to the indigenous evaluation.
I love your ideas. Let's be in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, see you.
Okay, thank you, John. I'm happy to thank you. Bye-bye.